Hey folks, it's Rithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Estancia Lapacho, and today we are going to continue on with our sowing. We're doing some sowing. We're also going to get started on some baling today. We've got this combine here busy harvesting, and as I needed to empty out the trailer, I thought, well, I'll just make a quick courseplay course to set it unloading, and then it can do the rest of it as well. It can cope with all of that. So let me just stop that one there. And we're going to be making this field into a bigger one, so I'm not actually going to worry about saving this course now. I'm just going to leave it, and we can always do a new one. So I'm just going to go drive course right there, and it should go. So let me just go to this one. Yeah, that's on 80%. That's perfect. That's what I want. So I can get rid of that. The tractor should go, and now, yes, it's going to go off back down, and it will unload itself. So that's fine. That can worry about that. We got the combine going there. We have got this combine going over here. It's doing a grand job. It is nearly halfway through this field. And I've got the John Deere here. This is loaded up 44%. I'm going to actually empty this one first. If you look there, the crone, the rake there, has finished raking that field already. So we're going to go and deal with that field in a minute. But first, we are going to empty out this truck. And while we do this, my weekly question this week, I want to know where you'd like me to build a new field. Now, I can either cut down the trees and plow up the land around field 11 and 10 up here, and we can turn this into a bigger field, or I can build a brand new field down here and cut down a whole load of trees and to create a brand new field down here rather than just expanding one up there. So I don't know which one you think you want me to do. So obviously it's more work to do this one up here. We've got part of it done already. We'll still get to see everything, and we can end up with a nice big field in either way. So it's your vote. It's your game. Head in the comment section down below. Let us know which one you want and why. And of course, don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right-hand corner. Do you want to have a field in the middle of the map or a new field up at the top of the map? Right, that's that bit done. Now, the courseplay driver has gone and emptied out his grain, and he is racing back up to the Bison Combine up there. That's excellent. This one here, we are just going to go and empty out this sugarcane, and then the truck is done for now. There's nothing else that we can do with the truck. And remember, we cannot use the auto-load trailer to load up our bales that we're going to make today and get them put away. Although we're not actually putting them away anywhere, we're just kind of stacking them in the field, and then we'll say that they're being sheeted down. I figure that's probably a better way to do it. But yeah, so the auto-load trailer that we've got is currently out of action because of our weekly random event. That trailer has broken down and is not able to be used. So I would like comments this week about what you think of that particular event. Do you think that I should tweak it a little bit to only have vehicles that drive themselves? Because obviously things would have been a lot more difficult. I'm using every vehicle that we've got on the map at the moment. Because we're now using courseplay and automating a lot of it, I'm using every vehicle that we've got on the map. And so it's going to be a lot more difficult. If I have to take one of those out and not use it for a week, that is going to make life more difficult. It's definitely going to have an impact on the performance of the farm. Now, I do have some... I believe that there is at least one event that does just that, but I don't think it's one... I sort of thought that I would do some of each, but I don't know what you think of it. So let me know. Let me know your thoughts on this particular matter. We just undo that... unload that one. Undo. It's not undo at all. Right, and then I need to come to this one, and we'll unload this one as well. And we've got all of the sugarcane now stored over here where the train can go. And I don't know, actually, is there still a special offer on sugarcane at the moment? No, there isn't. However, it is the highest price. We get the highest price from the transport company. So I'm thinking that we might try and do that today. We might actually sell our sugarcane and make some money from it. We've got all of this sugarcane now that has been stored away in this silo, ready to sell. And as far as I know, you don't keep sugarcane for very long. We've got some that is stored on the ground that was ready for planting in the future, but when we don't have anything to plant at the moment because we're just leaving the crop where it is. So in theory, we shouldn't leave that crop where it is. We should just pick that up, load it into these trailers here, and bring it on down. So I might actually do that. We might go and get our front loader that we got, our load all, actually, it's a load all, and we could load that sugarcane that's on the ground into this vehicle here, and take it over to where the train is in order to sell it. So that's another thing that we want to get done, which means that we might not actually get started on the baling at all today, which is not really what I originally planned, but I think it's probably a good idea, because you wouldn't leave a load of sugarcane lying around for ages. You would go and harvest it, and you'd use it up pretty quickly. You wouldn't just leave it lying around for a long time, because it would ferment and it would rot, and bad things would happen to it, and that's not what you want. So if I can just bring that one up there a little bit. So that's that one parked up there, ready to go. This one is still just waiting to fill. This one we want a minute. So I'm going to take this one over. So as we're not going to worry about the baling today, I'm not going to worry about swapping this one over onto the small Massey, which was my original plan. No, what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to leave it on this tractor. I'm going to set the standard hired help going as soon as we get over to this field, and it can row this field up a little bit, and hopefully it will row it up okay. We've got a bit sticking out the side right there. I'm not actually going to worry about that. I'm just going to ignore that a little bit, because I don't want it sticking out too far, just in case it gets in the way of our hired help that we got going. Courseplay course, rather. Right, it's very difficult to reverse these because the wheels turn when you're going backwards as well as forward. Sometimes you get vehicles that don't do that, and sometimes you do. This is unfortunately one of the ones that you do. So we start that one there and make sure it does go through okay. Yep, and it's just inside the field. So that one there should carry on and row that field up completely. And then once that's done, we're then ready to start baling. It should probably be next week now at this rate. This one here has finished this field. That's all done. So let's just see what else we want to be doing. So we've got field 8 there. That's now ready to go. And that might actually be the next field to move on to. So we'll take this one straight over to field 8 so that and get him started on that one, which is that one right there. So I can just bring this one in through this way and start it right there. We're going to have to bring some seed up for that seed drill as well. We're definitely going to need to do something with that one. So I can start that one there. That one's going to go. Right, that one's underway. This one here has almost run out. As soon as he's run out, we've then got another task that we need to do. But I have just the thing for this. I didn't want to keep bringing up pallets of seed, and I didn't want to have to take it back and load it with pallets of seed either. And there is a new toy that we have got that we are able to use for this job. So that one there can just do that last little bit. I'll let that one carry on and do that. This one here is waiting for the combine. That's the combine going. This is the one here that I want. And first of all, we just take a look at the cows. They haven't used up enough that the grass can go into them. So we are just going to dump this load of grass right here in front of what do you call here? There we go. I have to lift it right up in the air so that it will actually tip out. That is quite a heap of grass, that really is. Right, Helper C has stopped work unexpectedly. We will get up there and we will deal with Helper C in a minute. Now, there was a way that you had to do this. I don't think we've got the right tools for the job here. I'm going to need pallet forks. I am definitely going to need pallet forks for this, and I think you can put it onto the back of that lorry right there if you use the lorry. A truck, it's a truck. It's still a truck. It doesn't make anywhere in North America or South America, it is classed as a truck. So I do need to remember that. I'm not sure if it will work on that one. The one that I want is it's the thing from Horsch. I do have the Horsch mods loaded, I think. That's actually a very good question. Do I actually have the Horsch mods loaded? If I don't, I'm going to be a little bit red-faced about this, because that was kind of my plan for today. Where is it? I'm looking for sprayers. Oh, there, right under my nose. Go through, and yes, I do have the Horsch mod loaded, and that is brilliant. Right, so I don't want that mod there. What I want is the tender, and I can't remember what the tender is under, whether it is under tippers or if it's under something different. So let me just scoot up through here, and I want to go to just the end of it there. No, it's not in that section. Oh, I know what it is. It's in the overload, auger wagons. It's in this bit. So we've got that one from the Big Bud Pack. We've got this one here from the Platinum Expansion, which we haven't used yet. And then I've got this shuttle here. Now, this one carries liquid, and that can go on the MAN, the Tatra, the SX. So that yeah, and then we've got this one here, the Horsch seed tender, the 10-ton one. 10,000, it's actually 5,000 seed and 5,000 fertilizer. And that is quite a bit. So we're going to get that one. I'm going to buy that one there. Buy you. And then I'm also going to need pallet forks for my load-all, because I think using the tractor to do this is going to be... it's not going to work out very well. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to leave this bucket here, like this, and unload that one. And there we go. Like that. Then I'm going to go over here, and we're going to get into the truck, and I'm going to unhitch this one. Not back there. I'm going to unhitch that one right there. Oh, no. It should unhitch. There we go. Right, I'm going to unhitch that one there, because in theory this should be able to fit on the seed tender, should fit onto this one. So then I will bring that one over there, and I can get the pallet forks, and I can load it onto the... I can put them onto the Merlot, and then we'll be able to use those a little bit later. And I'll bring this one in round, and I'm going to go Control F, and I'm going to follow that truck. So then we come onto here, and hopefully this will work. If it doesn't, it means that we've got to get a different truck in order to do it. But I mean, we won't actually get a different truck. We'll just leave the seed tender on the little dolly thing that it's already on, and we'll do it like that. But anyway, I will get this down to the shop, and then we can get it loaded up. I'm hoping onto the back of this truck. Our truck is down here, and we have the Merlot, and I'm just going to get these pallet forks on. Now, in theory, you should be able to get the Horsch tender onto the back. And so what we do is we put this one on here, lift that one onto there, and then I think what I'm going to need to do is I'm just going to hitch this one onto the back and make sure that I can unload it. So I'll bring that one to there, and I can load that one on there like that. Now, if I go up this way, how do I unload? This is the bit that I'm not really sure about, is how you actually get them separated, because I've not actually done this before. I didn't even know, when I was busy looking at the Horsch DLC, I didn't realize that this could go on the back of one of the trucks. So let me just bring this one up. I've got... oh, that's my loader there for the mouse controls. And so I've got that one. If I move to this back one, I've got detach. Right, so that comes separate then. So if I just jump out a minute, and then I go like that and take that one off, and then I can come round. And now, in theory, you lift this one up and you dump it onto the back of the truck, and it just stays there on the back of the truck as a single unit. So how can we pick this one up? It should be able to be done with the pallet forks, I believe. So let's put these down. Now, I have no idea how you actually get this to work and how far underneath I'm supposed to put these pallet forks. Kind of like that, I guess. There we go. It's sort of sliding underneath. No, it's definitely not sort of sliding underneath anything. I'm going to play around with this for a minute. Well, I sort of got it balanced here, but I'm not sure that this is entirely how it's supposed to go. This doesn't sort of... it seems a bit precarious, really. Now, if I bring it up there like that, I can sort of set it down. Right, so it's kind of in position there, but I don't think that it's meant to do this. I don't think it's meant to go on there at all. There's no lock for it. I'm pretty sure that we got the wrong one. So let me go into here. We're going to go into the trucks, and now it was saying that there was one in particular. I reckon that what the problem is, we've got the wrong sort of truck here. So I want to go back to that seed tender a minute. Auger wagon. And that one right there. Right, Man Tatra SX. How does that work then? If I go onto here, just Man Tatra and the SX, but not the TX. So what's the difference? If we go for that one, and I lease this one for 13,000, we're gonna have to run a little experiment on this and see how this works. Why it is that this one is supposed to be the one that will fit, but the big one there doesn't. What's the difference between these two? This one here has got... it doesn't seem to be very different, to be honest. I can't see that there is a lot of difference. So I'm going to have to try and sort of mess this one around a little bit and see if I can find any. It might be that the spout needs to be out, or something else has got to be changed with it in order to get this to fit. It definitely doesn't like that, because it's kind of got this invisible wall over it, which, yeah, it makes me do that instead. Let me keep playing with this and see if I can find out what's going on with it. Right, I sort of see what's going on here. It's very, very difficult to get this thing to move around because it doesn't fit properly onto pallet forks, which does make it a little bit of a nuisance. But the reason that it doesn't fit the other truck is because of the great big windshield thing that it's got over the top. And if I shove that one up on there, that actually fits quite neat and tidy on there. And so I should now be able to hitch... Yes, I can hitch that one on. There we go. See, that fits really well. That fits perfectly, right in place, exactly where you'd want it, and then you can move it round to your heart's content. So it's not going to do that on there, I don't think. And even if it does, it's going to be an absolute jolly nuisance to get that thing to move to unhitch it. It's very difficult to hitch and unhitch this thing because it doesn't pick up very easily. That's kind of the big difficulty with this one. Is I don't think there is any way to easily... I might be missing something on this. I could easily be missing something on this, but it doesn't appear there is any easy way to pick this one up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to buy some fertilizer and I'm going to buy some seed. So I'm going to get 5 pallets of each, and then I'm going to load them up. We're going to keep this thing on lease for a minute. We're going to keep the man, and we're going to keep it leased so that we can... use the seed tender like this. I mean, you can just use the seed tender on the trailer and put it onto the back of a tractor and drag it around. We could then... I know that we're pulling 10 tons of weight around, which is an awful lot of weight. But, I mean, if I got 4 of each. I want another 1 of each. What we could do is, instead of doing it like that, get that one and another one of those. There we go. Right. 5 of each. Yeah, we could stick it onto the back of the tractor, and we could drag that around, or we could stick it on the back of the pickup. Now, I realise that 10 tons is a lot of weight to be dragging around on the back of a pickup, but I still think it would be possible. I still think we could do it. We'll have to wait and see. I might ask this as a weekly question next week, whether you think I should keep this leased or whether I should switch over to something a little bit smaller, or, you know, go with the, like, putting it on that trailer there and just running it on the tractor. I don't really know. We could do either way for this, really. I need to get these vehicles back to the yard. First of all, we're going to get this man truck back to the yard, and, well, I'll get all 3 and we'll convoy them back up there, I think. Those vehicles are back at the farm, and we will start those going in just a moment. I'm going to run this one up here so that I can start putting this one onto that barley field, and this field here is ready to start baling. So we've got this field here, we've got the field 1 over there as well, and we'll have field 4. So we'll be able to start our baling in the next episode, at least that's what I'm hoping. And if I bring this one up here, can I do this so that I get this last little bit at least with... No, I don't think it's going to quite reach to do a single pass for the 3. That doesn't really matter. It's not going to make any significant difference. So if I just bring that one to there, I've got... this one here. I'm just going to move this one out the way. I'm going to stick it over onto that field for a minute, and I'm also going to move the combine out the way as well. So let me stop you there, and then I grab this one, and I get this one out the way, because we have... Oh, that's not very good. It's left a tiny little strip all the way up the field. Yeah, I didn't calculate that very well, did I? Oh, well. We'll move this one over. We can get this last little bit emptied out probably at the beginning of next week or something like that. But we have got, most importantly, our seed tender is ready to go. So I'm actually just going to bring this one over here, and I'm going to stop. I'm not too concerned about that for a moment. I want to get this one going here. I parked it up in the field, all ready to go. And yes, this definitely doesn't fit. The seed tender definitely doesn't fit on the... lorry over there, the truck over there. It does fit on that little trailer, so we could do that. We could stick it behind the pickup, which is kind of, you know, we've got that and that's ready. But I really love the idea of having it on here. This is a nice, small, compact little thing, and it works really well. It's, I mean, the initial leasing cost was 13.5 grand. However, the overall leasing cost for this one, just take a look. so that you can get an informed decision. Base operating per hour. Per day, we've got to spend 1,600 per day if we have this one. Per hour is my hour, so it's our hour. So for, you know, we're looking at like 2 episodes. It's going to, if we're running it continuously, it's going to cost us 8 grand. So we're not going to be doing that though, are we? Which is, most of the time, it's just going to be parked up, not doing anything at all. So it's going to be like, it's going to cost us 2 grand. That sugarcane has already grown. We've got part of the sugarcane field has already grown. I need to get fertilizer onto that field. That's on our to-do list. But yeah, do you think I should keep this one on hire, and so that we've got this permanently with our seed tender? I personally, I would really like to. I want to hear your views in the comment section today. What do you think about keeping this one as our kind of permanent seed tender? Do you like the idea of it? So let's just put the pipe out on this one a minute. I'll bring this one up, and I don't know if I got it into the tractor and undo that cover a minute. I may not. I'm not really sure. So then I can bring this one back round over there. Oh, no, they open automatically, and I can back up there. So there's the seed loaded, and then I can bring it back just a little bit further, and then I can go toggle the door, and I toggle it over to fertilizer, and it loads the fertilizer up as well. Perfect. All loaded up, and then I can unfold the auger wagon. Are you telling me that I didn't need to pick it up? I got a horrible feeling about this. Right, let me just do O like that. Pipe in. And then what is unfold the auger wagon all about? I'm a little bit concerned about this. I got a feeling I've just made a complete and utter fool of myself. Nothing new there, Frith. I hear you all shouting. Yeah, you're probably right. Unfold auger wagon. Let's just see what this does a minute. Unfold. Oh, I see. Right, it lifts it. Ah, right. So, no, I haven't made a complete and utter fool of myself. It lifts it up like that, which is kind of how you would do it to take all the seed out. That is kind of a realistic way. Or it would be later on when you're getting the last of it out. We don't need to at the moment, so I can do that, and I can put the pipe in. So let's not worry about it for a minute. That one is done there. I'm just going to jump across very quickly and start this one going again. I want to close those lids down, and that one is away. Excellent. Right, that is doing a really good job. It is struggling to pull it a bit, so it's not ideal. It's definitely not ideal, but it is sort of, it's doing the job. So that's the main thing. What I'll probably, no, I was going to say I could swap them over, but I'm not going to yet. The John Deere combine has actually almost finished combining that field now, so what I am going to do is I'll put the John Deere on the seed drill for next episode, and that one can run that one. We've got this one here, and we can park that one up. That one is done. Job finished. And then the next job that I want to do is I want to start loading up this. I did want to try and sell some of this by the end of the episode. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to have time or not. We'll have to wait and see how quickly I can get some of this loaded up. So it's sort of a test of my loader skills today. The sugarcane does pick up fairly quickly, and then it's just up and into the trailer. I think that we don't have a full lorry load, so it's a full truck load. It is literally just one. It's that one that I need to press. I'm trying to figure out which button I need to press for the extension on the boom. Right, lower that one back down and in for another bucket. So if I'm taking 4,500 litres per bucketful, and I did, I think it was like 4 trailer loads or something like that. It should all fit into this front trailer. I shouldn't have any issues with getting the rest of it to unload or to fill up here anywhere. Bring that one in. So yeah, I want to hear your views today on whether you think I should keep that man truck leased and permanently attached to the seed tender. I personally would like to, but I realise that some of you may not like the idea. You may think that that is a little bit too much, and we should return that one off hire once we've done this round of planting. We've got baling that we're going to start next week, and we'll get the John Deere baler for that. We've got the rowing up has now been done, so we've combined the smaller rows of crop left behind by the bison. I also want to hear your views on whether or not we should keep that bison combine in the first place. Do you think we should keep it, or do you think I should sell that one and the other one and upgrade to just a single bigger combine? I mean, it will come later on that we do the upgrade, so we will keep the Bison for a little while. But I'm liking the idea of keeping that one and running a small tractor with it in some of the crops, and then running the other combine. So we've got old combines. So we've got a mixture of old machinery and new machinery here on the map, which is kind of how every single farm that I've ever been involved with would run anyway. You would have a mixture of old and new, and the only time that you seriously consider getting new machinery and trading up is when, one, the cost effectiveness of buying the new machine outweighs the actual cost of it. So for example, if you've got an old combine that is reliable, you could keep it going, unless the new combine has a much higher throughput, and financially it kind of makes sense because you can get through the crops so much faster. But if you're not upgrading by very much, if you're just like trading in an old tractor for a new tractor of a similar size, why are you trading up? What advantage are you going to have? How is it financially viable to be trading up? Now, very often the case is that the older tractor is not quite as strong as it used to be, but also it's become unreliable and it started to break down on a fairly regular basis, and you've got to take into account that downtime. A new tractor is far less prone to breaking down than an old tractor, and it's the same with combines as well. You know, very often I know people, I've known places that do a lot of combine work will trade up their combine every 3 or 4 years because the old ones start to break down on a more regular basis, and you don't want that. You can't keep a combine that is constantly breaking down when you need it most. It's time to trade up then. You cannot keep an old machine that's constantly breaking down. If you've got a lot of work that you need, oops, didn't want to do that. If you've got a lot of work that you need to do. If, however, you don't have a vast amount of crop that needs to be done, you can't really justify spending all that money. So I'm thinking at the moment that our combines seem to be fairly reliable, so we wouldn't trade up, at least not for quite a while. And I do have another John Deere combine that I've suggested we could use for trading up later on. But I'm kind of thinking at the moment that we keep the 2 older ones and we run those for our crops for now, and we see about upgrading at least towards the middle or the end of the series rather than too early on, and then we've got this money that we can use for something else. Potentially another tractor. I mean, if we're doing all of this work and we're using Courseplay a lot to do quite a few of these bits and pieces, another tractor would be extremely useful. And so I want some suggestions. Do you think that we should be spending this money on upgrading combine, or are you thinking more along the lines of another tractor? And also, what do you think of the MAN truck? So I'm asking a lot of input back from you today. There's kind of a lot of things that we might be doing, we might not be doing. We'll sort of see how it goes, and it's going to depend a lot on your various inputs. Now, it doesn't look like we're going to have time to finish doing this today, so what I'm thinking is I will finish loading this between now and next week, and then next week we can first thing go and unload this lorry, this truck. I'm going to get it right eventually. One day I will eventually get it right. We'll go and unload this truck, and we will then sell all the sugarcane using the train. We're not going to wait for a great demand or anything. We're just going to load it all into the train, and we're going to race it up the track, and we're going to sell it up the top of the map. There's a... it's like 233 per 1,000 litres or something, but we do have a lot of sugarcane that is stored over by the train. So I think we'll make a reasonable amount of money out of it, and it'll be nice to make a bit of cash right from the get-go. And also, we've got some corn that we can sell as well, although I'm thinking of holding on to that until such time as we reach a great demand for corn, because otherwise I mean, we're going to want to save some for our pigs, because we've got quite a few pigs for, you know, when we actually do start on the pigs, we've got quite a few of them up there, so there's that to come as well. Now then, let me just show you the map again. My question for this week is, where do you want me to build a new field? Do you want me to cut down a load of trees around fields 10 and 11 and make that into one big field up there? Or do you want me to build a brand new field down here and cut down a load of trees down here and plough that area up and make that into a new field? So we can either have up there at the top of the map, or we can have there in the middle of the map for our new field. It's your vote. It's your game. Head into the comment section down below, let us know which one you want and why, and of course don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right hand corner. If you enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like, and if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. But until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.